it's the Swahili phrase, which means, what's up, what's the news, how's it going, what's the word? So the lead for each Kwanzaa principle is, on each day, is Habaragani, what's the news? So I'll say what's the news, and then you'll tell me the principle of the day. The principle of the day today is Kujichagulia. Let me hear you say Kujichagulia. It's a Swahili word that means self-determination. So here we go. Habaragani. Kujichagulia. And then you say Habaragani. I'm not even feeling time. And then that gives me a chance to say. So y'all say Kujichagulia, and then you ask me what's, because don't you hate it when you ask somebody how you doing, and they say fine, like it's your job to check on me, and they don't check on me. So then you ask me the news, and I tell you everything. Is everything in return. So let's try it again. Habaragani. Kujichagulia. My name is Carl Kemp. I'll be your MC tonight. It's a pleasure and an honor to have been asked to be here. It's so beautiful to look out here and see so many faces of Long Beach. Long Beach is my favorite city, and as I look out at this crowd, as we celebrate Kwanzaa in this city, the energy that you brought to this celebration is palpable, and I can feel it. I want to thank the African American Cultural Center of Long Beach for asking me. A little bit about myself, I'll keep it short. I went to Cal State Long Beach. I graduated in 1996 with my master's in public administration. I got my undergrad in black studies. I was student body president for a couple of years. I'm most proud of being the Black Student Union president when I was 19. I've been in the city a long time. Some of my contributions to our culture is working to get the word black when speaking about people of African descent capitalized. I'm very proud to have worked on that during the pandemic with Aaron Logan from the LA Times, and folks from various news outlets here, and now it is the standard. The old excuse used to be that the AP standard was a lowercase b, the New York Times style guide was a lowercase b. But that left my daughter, who is half black and half Mexican, feeling like, well, the Mexican part is capitalized, but the black part is lowercase, so somehow that might mean it's less than. Racism is subtle, y'all. And so we've changed that, and I'm very proud of that. And I also produced the Long Beach Juneteenth celebration here in the city of Long Beach. So having all of you here, there's multiple celebrations in the city. We support them all. We think nobody owns Juneteenth, but we love to have you at our celebration if the time permits. Next June 17th at Rainbow Lagoon is free. We got some great acts. Some of the performers here and the band were there, and it's just a really good time. It's like a black family reunion, and it's something for people who love black culture and black people who love black culture. So we hope to see you there. That's it for me. I want to officially welcome you and bring up to the stage a brother who is really a pillar of our community. He is going to do libations. This man has played a pivotal role in my life when I was in college, helping me through a rites of passage program that transformed the way I see the world. He has been the leader of the African study group here in Long Beach for many, many years. I'm going to read some of his bio. It's in the program, but I'll read some of it here because it's worth it. He's a retired educator of almost 40 years who received his master's degree from USC. And teaching credentials from Mount St. Mary's and Cal State Long Beach, Go Beach. And he served as a teacher, coach, and administrator. In 1988, after journeying to the motherland, Kemet, also known as Egypt, with famed historian Dr. Joseph Ben Yakinen, he and Max Vilks, who owns one of the preeminent black-owned cultural shops in the city, Village Treasures on Broadway, check her out, founded 3 vital cultural institutions in Long Beach: the Long Beach African Cultural Research and Study Group, and Long Beach's first Kwanzaa celebration. So thank them for doing it for us. Femi embodies the honorable title of Jegna within our cultural community. The word Jegna has been translated into English as meaning hero, warrior, soldier, courage, strength, and protection of our culture, land, and people, and elders. Finally, on a personal note, when my wife was going into labor, I told her I was a lobbyist once upon a time. I said, "Be a lobbyist, I'm going to be there for you every step of the way." But there was a roadblock. The doctor came in, and puts that needle in your back, and he said, "Well, you can't go. You can't go with us." I said, "Well, I understand. You got a job to do." But I read his name tag. He was an African. His name was Olafemi. So I made some small talk about my friend Olafemi, and next thing you know, I was backstage looking at the needle. I got to keep my word, thanks to Olafemi here. So please put your hands together for our brother, our elder, Olafemi.
Thank you. When I introduce myself, I always like to say I'm a black identity extremist, an instigator, and a troublemaker. All you gotta do is tell the truth. A lot of people don't like the truth these days. The truth is not taught in the public schools to our children. Prisons are filling up by the millions. So there's something wrong. The Pan-African Study Group is part of African American Cultural Center along what we do, and we're evolving more and more every day. What we do is teach the truth to our people. We're in a time right now when we're not getting that truth, and it's hurting our behavior. Understand who we are and where we are. And if you can do that, you're going to do just fine. And we might even empty out the prisons a little bit more. Keep the brothers home with this woman and his baby. That's what it's about. That's what we do in the Pan-African Study Group. We tell the truth. I see Khadijah sitting right here. She's one of the major elements of the Pan-African Study Group. And it's good to hear from the elders. I'm going to do the libation, but we have to understand something about ourselves to know the meaning of the libation. Some people say, what is the opposite of death? And some people say, life. No, it's birth. This birth is the opposite of death. So we are on a plane. We have to understand that we're born and we die. So what is the purpose of life? The purpose of life is to continue life. That's what the purpose of life is. A lot of people think it's to get as much money as you possibly can. And we get caught up in that. We're in the system of that right now. This whole nation runs on it. And it's not good. It's not good for the nation. It's not good for us. Join us some Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, 6 to 8. We're on Zoom right now, and we're also evolving into a personal face-to-face space right here. So right now we're on a book called 1619. Fantastic work. We are studying it. You don't have to have the book. You don't have to read. You don't have to like reading. Just join us and listen and make a comment. So there are flyers back there. Pan-African Study Group, African American Cultural Center, Long Beach. Max, most of you know that Max works real hard in terms of bringing out the culture. We're going to do libation. What is a libation? Our libation is respect for the ancestors, respect for who we were, who we are, and where we're going. It's a respect for those who were with us in the flesh. Respect for those who were with us in the flesh, but they're not now. We are. Some things belong to us. Your mind, your body, your emotions, all those things belong to you. So who are you? You are a soul. You don't have a soul. You are a soul. And understand that when we do a libation, we're talking about those of us who have returned to the physical world, returned to the dirt, returned to the earth, returned to that grave. So we're talking about people who were with us and they're not dead. Remember, even in the holy books written years ago, 500 BC by black African people, we call the Bible today. We study that too. And we have to understand we are because they were. That's how important libation is. Everyone should have libation. If you know anybody who's passed away, who's dear to you, you need to respect them daily. We are, because they were. The babies and the elders are babbling at the beginning of life and at the end of life. Who are we talking to? We're talking to people in the spirit world. That's who they're most recent from the spirit world, and they're going down. That's what the beginning and the end is about. So have that libation, not just going to pour the libation to the plant, because we pour it to the earth. Water is life. When you pour to the earth, the response is Ashe. It comes from the Yoruba people. The Yoruba people means so be it, amen. Most of us are used to that. But whenever we pour to the ancestor that we talk about, you say Ashe. Ashe. That's the response. We want to talk about those ancestors who began civilization. In the culture that teaches us that they started civilization. A lie is a lie. The first people on earth looked like us. Black people. And let's understand that during the system that we lie to you, it tells you that they are. That's called a white supremacy system. I told you, you make some people uncomfortable, let's go with it. Report to the first people on earth. Report to the originators of civilization. There are some people that we want to talk about. One is Amos Nefertari. Amos Nefertari was a very interesting sister. She was the first to expel the Hyksos from the place the Greeks called Egypt. Our ancestors call it Kemet. This sister raised her two sons. The first one died in combat against the Hyksos when they invaded that part of Africa. And she waited until that baby grew up and taught him, you need to expel the Hyksos from Egypt, from Kemet. The boy grew up and he did exactly that. That sister's name was Amos Nefertari. We want to talk about Nahanda. You heard of Cecil Rhodes? Cecil Rhodes, Rhodes Scholarship, left South Africa to come to a place called Zimbabwe today. Nahanda fought Cecil Rhodes and murdered millions of Africans. Nahanda beat him for 2 years. And then when they finally caught Nahanda, they hung her. And she danced and tormented them as they put her to death. Pour libations to Nahanda. Is that right? We're going to pour libations to another sister. I love talking about the women. The men powerful too, but I love talking about the women. We want to talk about Ida B. Wells. Fantastic sister. Oh my goodness. You know she carried a gun, don't you? You know, it's like the people, you want to say all the good things about the gun. This sister carried a gun because she was threatening so much. What happened, her friends were lynched in Memphis. 2 of them were lynched. You know why? Because they opened up a grocery store to compete with the white grocery store. So the mob came down the street and murdered lynched these 2 brothers for opening up that grocery store. And they were friends of Ida B. Wells. Ida B. Wells said another thing. She said every black home should have a Winchester. Heck of a journalist. Pour libations to Ida B. Wells. We want to pour libation to another sister. Her name is Harriet. Everybody want to say her last name? Oh, she's tough. Soldier. Serious soldier. Combat. Led combat operations. I'm talking about a soldier out in front of the troops fighting. You like to say some other things about it, but I like that soldier part. Pour libations to one thing in Africa is that we always participate. Some of us have to understand that it's not a performance for you. You can stand up and rock out. You're supposed to. So we want to include the ancestors who are precious to you. Either your historical ancestors or personal ancestors. When you call out their name, they still live. You only die when the last person who remembers your name forgets that name. That's when you truly die. You don't exist anymore. So call out the names of those precious ancestors. And as you call them out, we'll go ahead and pour libations. Go ahead, call them out. Violet's room. On behalf, just call out their names. All the names are still there. I shall. I will live in the house of the Lord for how long? Forever. Still alive. I shall. One more ancestor. I shall. I shall. We have not given the ancestors poison. Honest. No poison for the ancestors. Thank you.
I want to acknowledge, one of our elected officials. I don't know if there are others here, and if there are, please make sure you get your card to me. I think I've scanned the room effectively, but I want to introduce one of our noteworthy elected officials. This lady right here is what they call in the business a real one. She is effective at her job. She is accessible to her constituents. She is responsive to the needs of her constituents. In my experience, she is not only good at her job, but she's also a good friend. She has been my friend through the highs and the lows. I had a situation at school for my daughter. She was formerly on the school board. I felt like my daughter wasn't being treated fairly at her school, and I needed to make a change immediately before I caught a case. And I called her up. She made some moves, and by the end of the day, the mission was complete, and my daughter was in a new school, and that is just one story. Many people she has done that for. Now she is a councilwoman for this district. It's newly configured. This is the 5th District of Long Beach. Please show your love for my friend, our councilwoman, Councilwoman Megan Kirk. She just got elected in this town. Raise your hand. Okay, thank you. I just got word from Sister Sharon Diggs Jackson that a representative from the mayor's office is here. Is that right? Raise your hand. Oh, perfect. So I don't know if you all know this or not, but Long Beach has elected its first black mayor. Give it up for that. Our new mayor, who is no longer elect, is a brother named Rex Richardson, who I've known for a very long time, one of the brightest minds in the political game. He brought us the Michelle Obama Library and helped us with the reconciliation package that brought equity programs to our city. He's got a bright future, and our city has a bright future with him. Here from his office is a lady who worked tirelessly on the campaign. She's very understated, but she is super qualified and not to be trifled with a big heart. Show your love for Montserrat. Montserrat, I don't know your last name, but raise your hand, Montserrat. With that, I'd like to bring up the president of the African American Cultural Center of Long Beach. I've known this brother for a very long time. He's been making moves in Long Beach since 1984, since I was in 6th grade, since the Olympics were in LA, since Purple Rain came out. These are the hallmarks of my life. This brother is the president of the Miller Family Foundation. Currently, he also created and led the Long Beach CAP Community Action Partnership, which has done just tremendous things in our community and given us tremendous, it's been a trampoline for careers for folks like Gideon, where he got his start. This guy's got connects to everybody, but he hasn't forgotten his roots. While at the Miller Family Foundation, this year alone, they've given out $1.7 million to over 55 organizations. Please help me welcome our brother, Derek Simpson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now, come on now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You mentioned Gideon, but we've got our very own Tatiana Tate over here, who also came through Long Beach Cal. This young lady, check out her music tonight. She is amazing. She is amazing. I am honored to stand here before you as president of the Long Beach African American Cultural Center. You're in our house. When we share it with other people, one day we will own our house. It will take your support It will take your energy, it will take your ideas, because we have, as a result of the McLucas family, at our access, one of the largest, if not the largest, collection of African American artifacts west of the Mississippi River, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I think that deserves a big round. And what you can see in this room back here is just a portion of it. We could fill up literally this entire space and you wouldn't see one thing twice, right? That is the richness of our culture. That is the richness of our contribution to this country. When I was just interviewed, he asked me about the African American Cultural Center, and I said African American history is American history. And therefore, you can't have one without the other. So tonight, I ask you to immerse yourself in everything that we brought here. Support all of the, support the vendors who are here, who are amazing. Support the musicians. Get to know each other, because we need your support to make our African American Cultural Center everything it should be. We're on a journey right now. Actually this is my first official engagement as the president, right? And I could have said no, but the community said yes, and so here I stand. I must be someone who voted for me to be here. So I'm going to step aside, but I just encourage you sincerely with all my heart, we can't achieve our mission without you. The African American Culture Center is more than just words on paper. It is the people. The people will make the difference. Your contribution in some way, shape, or form can help us cross the finish line. Our councilwoman is back there. Show her that this organization is one that she doesn't support anybody else in this city. She should support this one. And I know she will do everything she can as she has done. So we'll show that support, right? Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy all that's here for you in the spirit of unity, in the spirit of achieving purpose, which is one of the tenets of Kwanzaa. I sincerely ask you to be present in this moment tonight, to experience this all. Go tell someone about it, so that next year we will have to put out even more seats. We'll have to get a bigger space, because that's the way our history is. That's the way it should be tonight. And thank you for coming here to celebrate what we are and who we are. Good evening.
I wish y'all could see what I see from this podium. I've been in Long Beach a long time, and to see a packed house for a Kwanzaa celebration is a beautiful thing. So give yourselves a round of applause. And know that you are a part of this event tonight. You are not spectators. Please don't come here and be spectators. Please come here and be participants. Your energy ricochets off the stage, and it's a back and forth. That vibrational frequency will raise us all to a higher level. So participate tonight with that energy in mind. And if you would join me, please stand for the playing of our Black National Anthem by Tatiana Tate, Master Trumpeter. beyond the yellow belt. I'm an inconsistent goer, but they, after the pandemic, they play out of Homeland Cultural Center every Saturday from 10 until 4 classes. The classes start at 10 until a different class schedule, but they're reliable. You can go there. It's a community. It's donation-based. I've seen the brother who was playing next to me. I remember when he was my daughter's age and younger. And now he's a master drummer doing things on the drum that just blow our minds. I encourage everybody, if you haven't ever gone to a drum class or you haven't ever gone to a dance class, take the time. Take the time to go. It's a very diverse class. It's not just black folks dancing. It's people who love black culture. One of the best drummers there is a guy who you would not guess was a master drummer just by looking at him. White dude with a curly mustache and does air conditioning. Get him on those drums, I'm asking him, what's my line? Paul's a black drummer. Paul's a black drummer. So, as Djembe Bra makes their way short, you got that? I don't think they're ready yet. So as they get ready, let me encourage you all to do a couple things. If she's still here when you guys get ready to leave, please say hello to Megan Kerr, our new councilwoman. She's a good person. If you haven't already, please visit our vendor booths. These brothers and sisters come in here. You know how hard it is to set all this stuff up and then break it down and you didn't make one sale? Please, if you have it to spare tonight, know that, in the spirit of Kwanzaa, your contribution to these vendors can be a symbol of what one of our principles, Ujamaa Cooperative Economics. Recycle those dollars into the black community, encourage black businesses. We got folks like the Stemming Stash, Brother Anthony over there, started this company. We got during COVID to help encourage young folks and others to become financially literate. He's got a full program. Also, if you can, I'm proud of the African American Cultural Center of Long Beach. They got the latest technology. All you got to do from your phone is go to this little squiggly thing on the back, this QR code, aim your phone at it, and it will put you in a position to make a contribution to the African American Cultural Center of Long Beach. We don't run on hope alone. So, we appreciate the kind, the jingles, we prefer the kind that folds. We'll take anything. And put it to good use for things and programs like this. I think we're ready. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, show your love and again, participate with the vibes, Djembe Bra.
term Dembe Benibana, which means community united together as one. Dembe Bra means the unity of the drum. As far as you can hear our sound, we are unified. Just like the first day of Kwanzaa.
Before we get started, you can all hear me, right? Okay, before we get started, how many of you, and I want to see you, and don't be shy, how many of you have been with me at these Karambas for the past 30 years? Get them up high. See, y'all like, I didn't have, no, so 20 years. Keep them up, keep them up. 10 years. It's glad to come back together, family. Go ahead, give my family a hand. They've been doing it. All right, so I'm going to clear something up real fast and then we'll jump into this. Let me clear this up real fast. Because I've been doing this for 30 years, and here's what I need to clear up. The only reason I'm called a storyteller is because we speak English. That's the only reason y'all call me a storyteller. I am not a storyteller. I'm a griot. I'm a griot. And a griot, let me explain what a griot is, what I've been doing for the past 30 years, because sometimes I think we get a little confused. I travel the world. I've been traveling the world for over 30 years. I visit schools all over the world, NGOs, all sorts of institutions. What do? I do what Paul Robeson was doing in the 20s, 30s, and the 40s. I do what our ancestors have honored me to do. For example, let me give you an example. I was touring Louisiana. I go to a middle school. I'm a griot. I go to middle school, and there's a young boy, about 12, maybe 13. He stands up, and he's into what we're doing. We're vibing. That's what the kids said today. We're vibing. And this young boy, in front of all these people, he raises his hand, and he says, and I want y'all to think about this, because I want you to answer this question that he asked me. He stands up in front of me, in front of all these people, and he says, why do white folks hate us so much? You don't have to answer that question right now, but I want you to imagine you standing in front of 200 people and someone, a young boy, 12, 13, asks you this. What do you say? I affirmed his feeling of pain. I did not tell him he was wrong, which would have been a knee-jerk reaction. I affirmed that what he is feeling is something that his ancestors felt, and when we had more time, I could give him a better understanding of why he was feeling the way he does. That is what griots do. So are we all clear that I'm a griot and not just a storyteller now? Yes. All right. When I say batyo bati, I want you to say back bati. Batyo bati. Bati. Now you got to give me back what I give you. So if I say it loud, you come back loud. Give me what I give you. Batyo bati. Bati. Oh, y'all got to be together. Oh, y'all, no. Y'all got y'all family, so I'm going to treat y'all like family. We got to be together. Because, you see, when we're together, we're strong. When we are not together, we're weak. Let me hear you together. Batyo bati. Bati. And everyone goes quiet. Now, if I break it down and I give you a smoother voice, whatever I give you, you give back. Batyo bati. Bati. And sometimes I'm going to be talking. Now, I don't know when these words are going to come out of my mouth. They'll just come out. And when they do, you got to be ready. So, I may be talking, singing, telling a story, then I'll break it down and I'll say, if you give me your eyes, I promise you, music and stories. If I give you my eyes, you give me your... Y'all ain't with me yet. If you give me your eyes, I promise, music and stories. If I give you my eyes, you give me your... ears. Batyo bati. Bati. There was a man lost in the desert. He was lost. And it was more than 2 days. And anyone who knows anything about the human body knows that without water, the human body cannot survive but a few days. And he felt his life slipping from his body. He didn't feel as though he had much time left. And then as miracles would have it, as miracles of miracles, he saw an oasis. So this man who's dying in the desert of thirst crawls to this oasis. And when he gets there, he takes water. And with every sip of water, he can feel his life coming back into his body. With every sip of water. He's tired. It's nighttime now. So he sits down beneath a tree and falls asleep. He wakes up a couple of hours later. He stands up. And as he's getting ready to walk away, he notices these little saplings, these little tiny trees that are growing near the tree that he's at. So he gets up, he walks away, he comes back, he chooses one of the little saplings, and in his hand, he has a rock. He has a rock. So he takes the rock, and he puts it on top of the little tree. Now, that little tree, it bends, and almost breaks in half. The rock is heavy. Now, the man, he walks away, and when he does, all the other trees, all the other bushes, they say, why did he do that to you? Why would he do that? Look, why would that man? And the little tree, the little baby tree, says, I don't know. Batyo bati. Bati. Well, the little baby tree didn't stay a baby tree. It grew a little taller. But when it grew taller, the man came back. And when he saw it had grown taller, he got a bigger rock. And he went over to that little tree, and he put the bigger rock on top of it. And this rock was so heavy, that little tree bent, almost broke, thrown out. The man, he walked away, and all the other plants and the other trees and the bushes, they said, why did that man do that to you? Why did he do that to you? And the little tree, you know what the little tree said? I don't know. Batyo bati. Bati. Well, this began to be a thing. Every time the tree would go, the man would come back, return to the desert, and he got bigger rocks. And bigger rocks. And bigger rocks. Until finally, batyo bati. Bati. Give me back what I give you. Batyo bati. Bati. Until the tree grew so tall, the man could not reach it. He couldn't reach it. He couldn't put any more stones on it. So now when he came to the desert, he would walk around the tree, he would look at it, and then he would leave. He would return to the oasis, walk around the tree, look at it, and leave. Bati, oh, bati. One night, there was a violent storm that swept through the desert. It was lifting up animals, tossing them in every direction. It was uprooting plants and trees. Total destruction, chaos in the desert at this point. The winds were blowing hundreds of miles per hour. And the next day, the next day, at the oasis, everything was destroyed. Everything was gone. Nothing survived that storm except one tree. Y'all know why that tree survived? Y'all are not. Y'all feel it. You know why that tree survived? Young lady, you have been listening with your heart, and I see it in your eyes, and I don't know you, but I can tell there's wisdom in you. Why did that one tree survive? Okay, y'all didn't hear this. Stand up, because I want them to see you. She said, the man knew the storm was coming. But let her say it for herself. Let her say it for herself. Say it again.
The man knew the storm was coming, so he put the stones on it so the tree could survive.
Y'all ain't let it go. Let me explain something to you. Don't ever tolerate that when you bring that kind of wisdom, they have a responsibility to clap a lot harder. So stay right here. Now, she said the man knew the storm was coming, so to prepare the tree for the storm, he put these rocks on it, and the rocks made it stronger, and Bati, Bati. Some of y'all think this is about stones and trees. Oh, man. No. You are all that little tree. And your elders in your life, they're like that man. You know how when you don't want to do your chores, y'all, come on now. You don't want to do your chores, you don't want to do your homework, you want to stay on TikTok all day, and you just want to do what you want to do. And then your parent or the adult who loves you comes in and says, put that down. They're putting a rock or a stone on your head. When that adult says, listen to what I'm telling you, I have lived. They know the storms are coming. And because we know the storms are coming and we love you, we put rocks on your head. Everybody understand? Bati, bati. Bati. Now repeat after me. Yeah, Jalia. Yeah, Jalia. Alaleka. Alaleka. Jalia da. Oh, y'all are ready. We're not even going to practice. I'm going to sing, and I want you to sing back. Here we go. Yeah, Jalia, alaleka, Jalia da. Yeah, Jalia. Yes. I'm feeling it. I'm going to give you more. Bati, bati. And you give me back more. Bati, bati. Yeah, Jalia, alaleka, Jalia da. Bati. So now, I know y'all didn't come for me. That's what y'all came for. I'm going to play the chord. Bati. I'm going to play the chord. I'm going to sing a whole bunch of words you're not going to understand. Listen carefully, because but when I get to that, yeah, y'all going to be ready? Yeah. I know they are. Are y'all going to be ready? Yeah. Okay. was a mystic, an elder teacher. He was walking with his students through a market one day. And as he's walking with them, he can make a lesson out of anything. He sees a man with a cow approaching him. The man has a rope around the cow's neck, and the cow is following the man. So the teacher, he stops the man with the cow. And he says, "Excuse me, I'm trying to teach my students a lesson. Can you help?" So the man with the cow, he stops. And the teacher, he turns to his students. He turns to his students. And he says, I want you to answer a question for me. Is the man beholden to the will of the cow? Or is the cow beholden to the will of the man? Who is the master? Who is the slave in this situation? Well, all of the students said, well, of course. The cow has to follow the man wherever the man is going. The man is the leader. The man is the master here. And the cow is the slave. Are you sure? The student said, of course. The cow must bow to the will of the man because the man has the rope. So the teacher, he takes the rope, takes out a knife, and he cuts the rope off of the cow's neck. And as soon as he does, the cow turns around and starts running in the opposite direction. So now the man who had owned the cow is chasing the cow. So the teacher turns to his students, and again he says, okay, is the man bowing to the will of the cow? Or is the cow still bowing to the will of the man? Yeah, Jolly, raise your hand if you understand that story. Okay, don't be shy now. Put your hands down. Raise your hand if you are clueless right now and you don't understand anything. Okay. One person. Okay, we have a couple. Okay, those of you who raised your hand and said you understand the story, you have a responsibility to talk to those who raised their hands and said they did not understand the story. We had an old adage we used to go by. It was created by a Caribbean scholar. I'm trying to remember his name now, but he used to say, each one teach one. Oh, y'all know about it, huh? Lord. Give me a loud whisper. Now, I'm going to respect everyone's time here, and I'm not going to step here too long. We have time for something very short. But we're community, so it's not about me, it's about us. Do you want to close with a song, or do you want to close with a story? A song. Both. Hold on, we got people saying, y'all. Okay, bye, team. Leave it up to us to put something else in. People screaming both. Chill, my team. Raise your hand if you want to close with a story, a quick fable, and I'll make it short. Okay, hands down. Raise your hand if you want to close with a song, a short. Oh. Repeat after me. Kobe. Natu. Nale. Now, there's gonna come a point in the song where you hear me sing. Kobe natu nale. When you hear that, I want you to sing it with me, but I want you to keep it going. I'll remind you when I get to it. It's simple. Don't stress this. Bati o bati. Bati. Bati o bati.
Acknowledge some of our vendors. That sounds like it broke. Yeah, the mic broke. It's not broke. All right. First, I want to acknowledge Inquani. Am I saying it right? Inquani. Give it up for Inquani over there. It's something powerful about creating anything artistically, but when you use your creative powers to create images that inspire and invoke thought about black people, it's extra special to me as a black artist. This piece that he's working on now, I think it's called Show Me Your Eyes. show me your eyes. And it's a young lady with her third eye wide open. The pineal gland is just beating, taking in all the information. Also, I want to acknowledge Jonas and Jacoby Shea-Butter over here in the corner, two young brothers.
Earlier last year, selling their Shea-Butter area, industrious young men. I didn't have cash, I didn't have cards, they had the Zelle, and well, they had everything they needed to get that money. I still have their product, which means it either works really well or we're a very ashy household. Only lotion the parts that people can see. I got Kevin Durant in the house. Okay. It looks like we're going to be doing a raffle right now. Are you ready? Get your raffle tickets out. We got some great prizes. Round trip tickets to downtown Long Beach. And the first winner is...
Your ticket.
Last three letters, 227. The classic show, 227. Marla Gibbs, 227. We got a winner. Going once, going twice. Next. 228. Look at that. We got a winner. Sinai Kimpe, ladies and gentlemen. Sinai Kimpe is a good brother here in the city. No one tell him? Keep to myself? All right. He does a lot of good for the community. Businessman, entrepreneur.
Oh, I'm sorry.
2 round trip tickets to Gus's Fried Chicken before it shuts down. Gus's will be closing in a couple of weeks. If you like Gus's world famous fried chicken, you better get it in. Next. Next is 196. 196. We got a winner. Hey, my sister from way back. And we're gonna do one more. That's it? Okay, we're gonna do one more. Last one, Chanel 236. 236. Going once. Hey, all right. Sister with the fashionable uglies. Okay, I see you with the uglies. Nice. All right, we're going to move on with our program. It's my pleasure to bring to the stage right now a brother who has been doing good in our community for a very long time. Not only has he worked in the school district to bring black parents together, but he's done so much more for the culture. He is a producer, an actor, a speaker, a storyteller. He served as the director of the Queens Historical Society since 1989. Converging at the intersection of fashion, music, theater, formal and informal education, and resistance, the Queens Historical Society uses the ancient regalia and historical legacies of African heroines and women leaders across the African continent to present critical educational interventions. Brother Anderson has directed over 400 of the Society's performances, including its signature stage production, Queens of the Nile. He does so much, and he's going to be leading us in the lighting of the candles. Please show your love for Brother Adisa Anderson.
Thank you.
Thank you, family. I'm here for primarily, can I have everyone's attention? I'm here primarily for one reason. Adults, I love you, but whom I love more are kids. Give them a hand. As you see, over the years, there's several children who have been coming back to Kwanzaa celebrations who I know, who are my friends. I know them by their first name, and it's such, including Warren. And it's really a pleasure and honor that we have so many children today. The fact that there are so many people here with their children is saying something. One thing it is saying is that when parents come together, that means power. Where there is power, there is change. And the biggest change that we want to see is a change for our children. And I think one of the primary things that we do at the end of the year is bring about Kwanzaa, because it is part of that change. Now, I'm going to talk to you about Kwanzaa, but I'm going to really be talking to my young friends here because they're going to help me tell you about what Kwanzaa is, okay? All right. So first of all, before I get started, I want to get the names of some of my young friends who have returned. What's your name?
Blake.
We got Blake here on my left, and this is a friend of mine who's been coming for, at least 5 years. She's also been in the newspaper. She's kind of famous. What's your name?
Jazara.
Okay, give Zara a hand. And what's your name? What?
Naji.
Najee, give him a hand. Azizi, give her a hand. And what's your name? Oh, give her a hand. Oh, oh,
Zora.
Zora,
Maya.
Maya,
Warren.
Warren, not Warren, Warren. Give him a hand. Muhammad. Ibrahim. Any other children you want to give a shout out names? Okay, yeah, way back here. What's your name?
Skylar.
Skylar. Give her one more time, Skylar.
Skylar.
Give her a hand, please. Shana? Sana, please give her a hand. Say it. Yeah, I ain't missing you. Look at his eye. He's rolling his eye back and forth. He said, I know you're coming over here. Okay. Just stand up. Stand up, buddy. I love that t-shirt. Devin? Okay. Oh, hey. Now listen. It's so interesting when I go around to the children and say this because the parents be saying, "Well, speak up," you know. And this is the time when I'm bonding with them, and so I'll bring it out of them. It's, let me work with it, But there's nothing more important. Nothing more important than what I'm modeling here for you is that the program starts with them. Their word, their voice, their energy. And from that, really, there is nothing else. Everything revolves around them. Because what I want them to do is to understand, have a value for Kwanzaa, but not only have a value for Kwanzaa, but recognize that I have a value for them. And I love the fact that you all are down here and have so many. Give them all a hand, please. Now, Kwanzaa, you can go on Wikipedia, you can get a book and you can read about it and come to understand what it is. But I'm going to say a few things, not in a traditional sense. But Kwanzaa means first fruits. And so usually when we talk about Kwanzaa, it has to do with harvest. Kwanzaa means also harvest. And we are harvesting from the work that we have done. Everybody show me your hands, please. When you come to Kwanzaa, your hands should be dirty. Because when anybody who knows anything about planting seeds, when you're working on a farm, your hands aren't clean either. Even if you clean your hands, and when you look at them fingernails, there's dirt in it. But that's good dirt because you've been doing the work. So at the end of the year, next year, when I come in here, I want to see some real dirty hands. Now, your hands are pretty clean, but you see this? This is some invisible dirt. And I'm going to light these candles with some dirty hands. So all the kids, I want you to put your hand in this bag just to get them dirty. Get your hands dirty in this visible dirt. Oh, we need some. Look at the dog trying to cheat, trying to fix it. Now, again, I And Kwanzaa is about a harvest, and we plant seeds. And those seeds that we plant, what has to happen if you plant a seed? What are you going to need during the year? First, raise your hands.
Sunlight.
You're going to need some sunlight. Now, if you only have sunlight, is that all you need when you plant? What else do you need? Sunlight and you might need a little bit of water. And if all you have is sunlight and water, and you don't have to worry about anything else, huh? What else? Do you need food? What do you have to do to the plant? Water it, sunlight. You can eat it later, but what else?
Seeds.
What's your name?
Zora.
So, what did you say we need?
Seeds.
So, these, you see those? They look like candy, but those little things are seeds. And if you water them and use sunlight with them, what else did we say we need? What's your name?
Blake.
Blake said put him in soil. What kind of soil? He said some good soil. Okay, come on in. So all these things are critical. But parents, let me tell you something. Here we got our Kwanzaa presentation up here. We have all kinds of fruits, all kinds of vegetables, and they look all pretty, huh? But life is not always like that. Sometimes the plants come out a little weak. But does that mean we give up on them? No. What do we do the next year? You might you nurture it, you might change the plant, you might change that soil. Do you know that since COVID happened, we have the highest level of black suicide? Do you know that since COVID, there is the highest level, or at least reading and writing of our children is at the lowest ever? So that means that we have to do what next year? Fertilize, nurture, all of these things. But our hands should be really dirty. And if our hands are dirty enough, this year, we'll be able to turn that around. Okay? So now, let's look up here. Some of you are here for the first time, and we're going to go through the Kwanzaa, and I'm going to have my dirty hand children help me light these candles. Okay? So, the first thing that we have are 7 candles. And there are 7 of them because they represent the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. And we're going to go over those principles shortly. We also have our kanara, which is our candle holder. So if any of you are at home and you want to celebrate Kwanzaa, you need a candle holder and you need your 7 candles. Yes, what's your name? Just gave the mic a kiss. You know, they said, never give that microphone to Michael Jackson. You might not get it back. So, I didn't give it to him. So, then you also have your cup. This is the unity cup, the Kukombi Chao Moja, that you should also have because you're going to be drinking this and passing this through your family. When you celebrate, you should also have, now, is this an apple or an orange?
It's a orange.
Blake, what is this?
It's
Now, Blake, do you see each one of those as little kernels? If you take one of those kernels and put it in the ground, Blake, what's going to happen? It's going to turn into what? It's going to turn into not only this corn.
What's the one?
What you eating? Corn? What's it going to turn into?
A corn stalk.
A corn stalk. Give me my hand. Yeah. So children, anytime they say, does one person make a difference? This one kernel turns into a whole corn stalk. One individual, one powerful young child can make a difference. You also have gifts. But the thing is with gifts, you don't go to Targets and you don't go to a place for toys where you purchase toys. You want to have gifts that you make for your children, okay? And then there's a mat on here. There's a mat that stands for your history, and the history is the foundation. And we're talking about culture now, we're talking about history, okay? So now, we're going to light our first candle. Where's Blake? Blake, come down. Give him a hand. Blake, you know what this is? You know how to work it? Need help? We're going to light that first candle. And first, before we light the first candle, what is the first principle of Kwanzaa? Which stands for? Unity. Unity. 1, 2, 3. Unity. Umoja. 1, 2, 3. Umoja. Give him a hand. And then we're going to jump to the other side. Now, let me show you something. You see this? You see this enthusiasm? What does that say? Everybody is delighted. Everybody wants it. Warren, come on. Wait. Let me go to a young lady, because I know some folks be down there talking. What's your name? Come on.
Oh, yeah.
What's your name? Onyx, okay. The second principle of Kwanzaa is? Let's help. Let's let her read. You got it?
To divide our lives, ourselves, make ourselves, and create for ourselves instead of being defended and made by others.
It's very good. There's no practice. Give her a hand. Very good. Thank you. Ready? Now we're going to go to the third principle of Kwanzaa. Can you read? Okay.
Ujima, to actively maintain and support our community, to make our brothers and sisters problems our problems, and to work together to solve them.
Now we're on the fourth principle of Kwanzaa.
To develop, build a
and maintain our own stores, schools, businesses, and instructions, and to profit from them together.
Give her a hand. Who am I? Now. Girl, I gotta give a boy now. Warren, did you do one yet? Already.
Yeah, he did one.
He did?
Yeah, he did one. He did the second one.
Excuse me, as he's getting ready, can I just ask everybody within the sound of my voice, this is the most important part of Kwanzaa right here, the lighting of the candles. I know that it's good to fellowship and reunite, or if you got to make a move, you got to make a move. But if I could ask everybody respectfully to please be quiet while these young people participate in this very important cultural moment. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Nia, purpose. To focus on the collective task of building and developing our communities in order to restore our people to their historical rights.
What's your name?
My name is Ramona.
I'm gonna help Anaya. Okay. So, say, Oomba. Using our talents to make our communities very good.
It's a boy nest.
Who hasn't lit it? Come down here with me. Come down here with me if you haven't lit. Come down here with me. Here. See? If you haven't. So we're all going to light it together so no one is left out. So you have to take the Kwanzaa pledge. Repeat after me, the last one. Can you repeat after me? Imani. To believe. With all our hearts. In our people. Our parents. Our elders. And our teachers. And in the righteousness. And inevitable victory. You gotta go like this. Inevitable victory of our struggle for liberation. Now, everybody come to me. I know you're getting this photo. Imani! 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 Okay, have a seat. Now, give all my young helpers, please, a hand. Trying to figure that last one out was a little difficult, but we did it. Yeah. Thank you. You've been a wonderful audience.
Thank you, Brother Adisad. Thank you to all the children who participated. Thank you to the crowd for giving them your energy. We're going to move the program along, and now we will have music from the band is not quite in yet, so. Oh, they're ready, they're ready. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about the band. The Black Arts District is a collective comprised of some of the preeminent modern musicians in the greater Los Angeles area. This collective grew its roots and established its reputation during the pandemic of 2020 by putting a COVID-safe outdoor community concert series weekly called The Alley of Lamert Park. Since its beginning, the band has made a name for itself throughout LA. Please show your love to the Black Arts District Collective.
birthday, man. Back here on the keys, we got my brother, none other than Brian Hargrove, which is from him. And holding it down on the trumpet, the lead, the best, the absolute best, the absolute best, right now and the future. Tatiana Tate on trumpet game, alright? This is all being owned, y'all. Y'all gotta really be doing something down here. You can follow us on Instagram at Black Art District with a K. As they said earlier, they mentioned earlier, we have a residency every third Sunday in Venice Beach, in the townhouse. So keep up with us. We'd love to see you. We're glad to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for introducing us to the band. I'd like to introduce some of the people
who is the master dance teacher. She kept the dancing going during COVID. She had dancing going on at the beach. People, it's a really therapeutic experience. If you haven't been to an African drum and dance class and actually engaged in it, I encourage you to do it because it will be good for your spirit. But Brother Yaya Quarles, let me give you his bio real quick as Dembre Brown comes to the stage. Brother Yaya is a musician well versed in the traditional African drum. He is also a master drum instructor and the director of the West African Dance and Drum class at Homeland Cultural Center. He has committed over 25 years to sharing the African culture and the diaspora and has done community outreach and education through the drum. I can tell you this, that I didn't know this, but the first black mayor of the city of Los Angeles, a brother by the name of Tom Bradley, helped and was instrumental in getting space for West African drummers in the city of Los Angeles. And Brother Yaya has been involved in the culture since then, since the very beginning. And so I just want to thank you in front of everybody for all you've done for our people. This is a fruit of that labor. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the incomparable rhythms of Dembre Rock.
not just sit and watch, it's participate. So, if you ain't gonna come up here and dance with us, stand up, you shake your head, you pat your feet, you move it like you just